Welcome to Earth Angel Mine. This is the story of how I learned to love myself after losing everything. If you'd like to hear my story, which I've written a book about, please stay with me and you'll get a little bit of background. The day my husband said, "This time it's real," I knew what he meant. The divorce, the ending, the life I thought we shared. I didn't cry. I made dinner. I tucked the kids into bed. And then I stood in the dark kitchen realizing that somewhere along the way, I had disappeared. People like to say that when you lose everything, you find out who your real friends are. But that's not true. What you really find out is who you are. Beneath the masks, the roles, the people you tried to please. Before I could rebuild anything, I had to face the monsters inside me. The fear, the shame, the desperate need to be needed. I used to think loving myself meant comfort, but real love is courage. And until I mastered my own monsters, I couldn't fully live an extraordinary life. The monster of disguise. For years, I believed that if I could just keep everyone else happy, I'd be safe. But the truth underneath that was much darker. I didn't believe I was lovable unless I was perfect, unless I was performing. So I became who everyone needed me to be. The competent wife, the cheerful mother, the fixer, the achiever. I wore approval like armor, but inside, I was starving. Every act of caretaking, every smile, every compromise, it wasn't generosity. It was bargaining. I was trying to earn the love I didn't yet believe I deserved. And it worked. Until the day it didn't. Because no amount of doing can fill the hole that comes from believing you are not enough simply being. It took losing everything I built, my marriage, my businesses, my identity, to realize I never actually had what I was trying to protect. I had love that depended on my performance. And that's not love. That's captivity. The monster of fear. When everything collapsed, fear didn't just whisper, "You'll lose everything." It whispered something far worse. Now they'll see who you really are, and no one will stay. That's what happens when you build your life on conditional love. When it all falls apart, you don't just lose people, you lose the mask that made you feel safe. But in that rawness, in that unbearable exposure, something miraculous happens. You finally meet yourself. And even if you're shaking, even if you're broken, you start to realize you were worthy all along. The monster of shame. After the collapse, the house was so quiet, but my head wasn't. Every silence became a courtroom where I was both the accused and the judge. I was asking myself, how could you have missed the signs? How could you let this happen? Maybe you were never good enough to begin with. That's the lie shame tells us, that we were unworthy all along, and everything that went wrong is proof of that. One night, sitting on the bathroom floor, I looked at myself in the mirror. I didn't even recognize myself. Puffy eyes, trembling hands. I heard a thought so quiet, I almost missed it. What if you don't have to earn love anymore? That question changed everything. When you stop trying to earn love, you stop punishing yourself for not being perfect. And when you stop punishing yourself, you create space for compassion. Real healing began the moment I spoke to myself the way I'd speak to my child after a nightmare. You're safe now. You're loved. You don't have to prove anything. That's self-love. Not vanity, not indulgence, just the radical act of treating yourself as someone worth saving. The extraordinary life, those three monsters, disguise, fear, and shame, still visit sometimes. But now, when they knock, I don't hide. I open the door. I pour them a cup of tea and I remind them, you don't have to protect me anymore. I know I'm worthy of love. Mastering my monsters didn't make my life perfect. It made it extraordinary because it made it authentic. For years, I thought an extraordinary life meant success, admiration, financial security. But now I know an extraordinary life begins the moment you stop negotiating for your own worth. It's when you choose to love yourself, not because you've earned it, but because you exist, because you are here. And if you can learn to do that, if you can learn to hold your own hand through the darkest night, the darkest hours, then no matter what you lose, you will never truly be lost again. That is how I learned to love myself. After losing everything, I send love and light, and I wish you the most beautiful existence. If you do anything after hearing this, I'd love it to be that you research what it means to truly love yourself, because you deserve it. You are beautiful. You are unique and special in every way. Sending my love. Be well, everybody. Take care.